Now to an inspiring new book from John Ramsey. He is the father of JonBenet Ramsey. Little girl's murder sparked a media firestorm that almost consumed the lives of everyone who loved her. He writes about it all in his new book. It's called The Other Side of Suffering. We're going to talk to John in just a moment, but first, here's ABC's Juju Chang.
It's JonBenet Ramsey as you've never seen her, a fresh-faced 6-year-old with her family, celebrating the holidays. But this is how the world saw her, highly coiffed, in full makeup, the tragic child beauty queen. It's not the way her dad remembers her.
I see her in shorts and T-shirt and hair kind of scruffy and just kind of a kid.
It was Christmas time 1996. JonBenet's family finds a horrifying ransom note threatening to kill her. But soon, John makes a shocking discovery in the family's basement.
When I found her, it was a rush of relief. And then, of course, within moments, I realized that she probably was dead. But she was back in my arms.
Within hours, the Boulder police begin treating the Ramseys, especially John, as suspects. Investigative leaks fuel a media frenzy.
I had 24-hour-a-day cameras outside of our house for, gosh, a year probably.
The tantalizing clues, a footprint, a broken window, some DNA evidence, spark wall-to-wall tabloid coverage. It would take 12 years before the Boulder DA's office completely clears the Ramseys and issues an apology. But not before John's reputation is ruined. A thriving business no longer his. And his wife, Patsy, dies of ovarian cancer.
Do you ever think that the killer of JonBenet is still out there?
Oh, I believe he is. He's either alive, dead, or in prison.
John, with his new wife, Jan, lives quietly in Michigan.
Yeah, this room will be the master bedroom.
Rebuilding is a constant theme.
No one would blame you for being angry and bitter.
And I was for a time, but you can't stay there. It's damaging to you as a person.
For Good Morning America, Juju Chang, ABC News, New York.
And joining us now is John Ramsey, author of the new book, The Other Side of Suffering. The father of JonBenet Ramsey tells the story of his journey from grief to grace. It is so good to see you.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
I told you in the break that I read your book over the weekend, and it was so touching and really moving. And I didn't realize that 4 years before JonBenet, that you lost a daughter, your oldest daughter, in a car accident, and you were dealing with that grief.
Yes. Yeah, that was tough. It was, that really was a changing point in my life when Beth died, and challenged my faith.
And it seems like all that you've had go on in your life, all that you have accomplished, all that you have lost, that it comes back to that Christmas in 1996, and that is, and chilling detail in what you described. But John, the message in this book that I took away is that something my mom has said: we all have something. We all have something that we've gone through, and your friend in the book said to you at one point, do you feel that your best days are ahead of you? Which you, at first you're like, are you
well,
joking?
And I wasn't being bitter or sarcastic.
No.
It was like, what a silly question. How could that be? And he said, well, you need to get to a point where you believe they are. And I thought, you're right. That's the definition of hope.
How do you get there?
It's not easy. And because you're up until that point, until this happened in my life, my hope was based on probably shallower things: a bigger house, a nicer job, a nicer car, those material things. Well, when that's taken away, and certainly when your child is taken away, you're never going to get that back in your life. So how do you then have hope? And it's not easy, but you have to get there. You have to get there.
I mean, you have a new family, and it's something that is you just have to do. You just keep putting one foot in front of the other at times when you can't. Part of the reason people were so familiar with, I love how you called her Johnny B. JonBenet, that was her nickname, Johnny B. I learned in reading the book, was because of the beauty pageants. And there's so many of those on reality shows right now.
Noticed that.
What are your thoughts and feelings?
Well, JonBenet and Patsy did that for fun. Patsy had just come out of cancer treatment. I think deep down she didn't know how long she had to live and how much time she had to spend with her child. So she tried to pack a lot into a day. And the perspective they took on it was just fun. In fact, we used to joke that JonBenet needs to lose a few of these contests to understand that you do lose in life. You don't always win. But so their perspective is right. But I saw an element of competitiveness that I thought was unhealthy.
And there's a medal, because you like the talent
Yeah.
competition,
Yeah.
and there was a medal that you got back after her death, and you carry it with
Yes, yeah.
Do you have it?
Yes, I do. This was a hugely significant thing to me, in that.
And you carried it in your wallet to this day.
Well, I used to wear it, and the little ring
Wow.
wore through. But JonBenet had won that as a talent participant, and I used to always tell her, it's your talent that counts. Don't worry about whether you're the prettiest or.
Amen to that.
And she came up to me. I was late for the show, and she'd won this medal, and she gave it to me. She said, "Dad, I won this for you." And that was about probably 5 days before she died. And so after she died, I thought to myself, I want that medal. And I didn't tell anybody. And her sister, my sister-in-law Pam, went to our house to get some clothes for us. Came back and said, "John, I just felt compelled to bring you something." And she had that medal in her hand.
That must have meant everything.
Oh, it was huge.
Your book is really powerful. It's going to help a lot of people.
Well, I hope so. That was the intent.
All right. All the best to you going forward.
Thank you,
Continued
Robin. Thank you.
blessings.